filming this for the second time, which is always fun. I'm just an idiot and I filmed the video in the wrong format, so that's on me. Sorry Apple for all the hate that I directed at you over the last 24 hours. I swear to God, if this is still terrible quality, I'm going to throw my phone out the window. No, because I swear it looks bad in the screen. I just know it's not gonna work. I just know it looks terrible. The am I gonna do? How's this now? My hair as well. What the is going on? Huge. Please excuse the state of my voice and this whole nasally situation. I got a bit ill over the last few days, but another month has passed, so it's time for me to show you everything that I made in September. So the first thing that I actually started in August and I brought into September is this jumper, which I made based on a quote from my favourite band, Wolf Alice, and it's this like green cropped with a little mock neck and some ribbing at the bottom here and just like some bell sleeves, and I added the text on there. It was sort of a mix of knitting machine and hand knit. I also posted a video about me making this, so if you're interested in seeing the very chaotic process, then definitely do check that one out. But I am so in love with this, like I love it so much. I can't wait for it to get cold enough outside to actually wear it. Currently it's still like 18, 19, 20 degrees, so because it's wool, this really isn't that suitable for that kind of weather. But once it does get cold outside, this is going to be such a staple in my wardrobe. Like I mentioned, the overall process was a little bit chaotic, so I got my measurements wrong and I made it too long, which meant that I had to cut the bottom off and recast the stitches here onto my needles and redo the ribbing. As always, when something goes wrong, usually that happens for a reason, and the final result is so much better than what it looked like before, and I definitely learned a lot during that process. So such a strong start to my September month for sure. There are a lot of things that I made in September that I can't actually physically show you, which is a shame, because I either gave them away to friends or they were commission pieces, but I still wanted to share them with you because there are some really, really good ones there. One of them is this crochet tapestry that I made for a friend of ours, and it has the quote, "I'm not here to make friends," on it, which is sort of like a fun dig at something our friend's mum used to say a lot. I really love making that. Definitely after making the Wolf Alice jumper, I was very inspired to make more graphic and more pixel designs, so that was really nice to continue that on. And it had also been a while since I made a crochet tapestry, so getting back into that was really fun as well. I get so much satisfaction out of following a pixel design and changing out lots of colours. I feel like every row you make is so motivating because you can see the patterns sort of develop, and that's just really satisfying. He really loved it as well. He was really happy with it. So yeah, really fun project. Then the next thing I made was a dress based on the bow tops that I've been making, and I wanted to make a mini dress version with the bow at the back and sort of a low back like exposed. This is the dress, and originally I wanted the back to be much lower than it is. It just was really hard to style, and because it's a knit dress, it's a bit thicker, it was really awkward to wear a bra underneath, and I didn't know what bra I wanted to wear because it was going to be exposed and all that jazz. And usually what I do when I have a really low back is I wear a bikini top, and I don't really mind like the bow showing. I think it's quite cute, but because there was already a bow, the bow of the bikini top looked really weird, so I was a bit thrown off by how to actually wear the dress. So I ended up stitching the back a little bit higher, so the hole was a bit smaller. This actually turned out really cute because the stitching meant that the dress was sort of a tiny little bit cinched in, and it made the overall fit of it so much better rather than it just being a rectangle, which sometimes does look really cute, but this kind of just added something to it. I hope you can sort of see it. It's definitely mini. I steamed it a lot to make it longer. I think if I was to make this again, I would just add a bit of length. I did wear it backwards, so the bow was to the back, but I think now that the hole is a bit higher up, I can wear it to the front as well, and I think that would look really, really cute. I just really needed something to wear out for my birthday. I knew I wanted to wear a black mini dress, and I didn't have any. It just sort of worked out quite well that I'd recently been making those bow tops tops, and so this was a perfect little project for that. Also, it's always a challenge to adapt a pattern that's using a very specific yarn to a different type of yarn, because I needed more coverage than what the bow tops are. The bow tops are very meshy, and obviously because it's a dress I didn't really want that much on show. Definitely a bit of a challenge, but I love the overall outcome, and this will be perfect to wear in autumn over some tights. And talking of the bow top, I made a commission for that exact top, which I always love making them. They're such cute little tops and they're just really satisfying. I love the yarn that I use for it as well, so they're always fun. And then I do also love when people commission me for pieces that are slightly different, because I feel like it gets my creative flow going. Someone wanted the bow top but as a long sleeve jumper, and it turned out a bit thicker as well, so it's a proper nice jumper in this like color block style, which I absolutely love as well. And then I did make another crochet tapestry for that same friend. He owns a tattoo shop called Goodbye Horses, so I wanted to make like a logo type tapestry that he could hang up in the shop. The first tapestry that I made for him, it was meant to be hang in his home, but when he saw it he was kind of sad because he wanted to hang it up in the tattoo shop, so I thought I'd make a different tapestry that he could actually hang up in the shop as well. And I really love this design. I love this sort of slightly italic bold font and the little horses. I spent ages making that design on Stitch Fiddle, but I just love it overall. I really want to make more of them. I love the idea of making logos and stuff. Then I filmed a scrunchie making video, and the first scrunchies I made were these knitted ones. This one is more of like a fluffy one that you can just pop on top of your bun like that. I do like it, I just wish it was even scruffier and scrunchier. I think definitely something I've learned is just to not hold back with how big you make your fabric pieces. I definitely could have used even more fabric to make it even like scruffier. Also, since making them, I bought a scrunchie sort of similar to the Good Squish ones, and I wanted to use that as a template to sort of revisit the method that I used to make this, to make them even bigger, chunkier, and just a bit more finished as well. I also made this one, which to be honest was a bit of a fail. I do think if you wear it like double layered you can't tell as much, it's just not as exciting. And then I also made a crochet one, and I absolutely love this. This is probably my favorite thing I made in September, which is crazy, but I love how colorful it is and how big it makes my bun look. Because I don't have like a lot of hair, like my bun is never like huge, adding this on top just gives me that illusion of volume that I've always wanted. Obviously this is terrible timing because literally after making these I cut my hair really short, as you can see, so I am so desperate for my hair to grow back so I can finally wear this again. The day I made this is actually when I wore it to work, and I just loved every time I caught like a glimpse of it in any reflection, and I got a couple compliments on it as well, which is always nice. I just love this so much. If you're stuck on what to make and you want like an accessory that is kind of low key but that adds a bit more color to your outfit, make one of these. Then the next thing I made is another commission, and this is so cute. This girl reached out to me and she wanted a bonnet and top combo to both go together, and instantly I was like 100%. So this is the bonnet that I made for her. I used this really fluffy green yarn which is just stunning. I'll try it on for you. I'm not like a huge headwear person, I'm very specific with the kind of headwear that I like wearing, but this is like really adorable. Now since making this I really want to make more, especially in like patterns, like adding patterns on the side, or I've been thinking about like a repeating cherry pattern. I think that could be so cute. This is definitely why I love making commissions for people, because it really pushes me to be more creative and to try like different things. And this is the matching top that I made for her. It's just like a high neck vest type thing, and then I added some ribbing here to make it a bit more cinched at the waist, and then almost like a peplum style bottom. This will look really cute as like a two-piece together, and it's so fluffy, so it will be perfect for like autumn winter time as well. Then if you watch my free crochet patterns for autumn video, I shared this crochet pattern for a hood, and instantly I was like, this will be the next project that I'll be working on. So that's exactly what I did, and here it is. I did sort of like a two-tone colorway with the purple and green and the blue and like light blue here. I love this so much. Obviously going back to me being a bit funny about like the headwear that I like. I love the balaclava trend so much, but I didn't like how tight they were fitting on me, so I never really jumped on that trend that much. But since then I had been thinking that I need to maybe make a wider, more hood. So when I saw that pattern, I just knew I had to make it. Let me pop this on for you without ruining my hair. So it definitely fits a lot wider. I have so much room, and I love how long this bit is as well. Like this you can just tuck in under a coat and you're so warm everywhere. I don't think I own a single coat that has a hood on it apart from my raincoat, and I only ever wear that if it's really pouring it down. So I always end up just freezing cold in the autumn, especially because I tend to cycle a lot, or I used to. I haven't really been able to because my bike's been broken for months and I've just been putting off getting it fixed. Whenever I'm on my bike and it's a bit cold outside, the wind is just so cold in my ears, and I never have a hood to cover it up. And with this I have so much room that look, I can even wear like a bun or a ponytail underneath. Obviously this isn't very relevant at the moment because my hair is so short, but this is just perfect. I am obsessed, and I like that you can just pop it down. Like it is literally like a hood. I love that it's more colourful. I like wearing more simple, clean, neutral outfits, but popping this on under just a normal beige trench coat just gives me a bit of colour. Thinking of making my own pattern in a knit version and trying it on my knitting machine. There's definitely a lot of things that I've learned from this. There are a few things that I would change, but this would be so cute also knit, and maybe again similar to the bonnet with some patterns on it, especially because on my knitting machine I can create these punch card designs, and it almost creates a bit of a thicker fabric anyways because the yarn is like double lined at the back, if that makes sense. So that would be perfect for something like this where you don't really want any air to come through, like you want it to be quite tight. This is definitely one of my favorite projects and I'm so glad I made it. Then also in the same video where I shared all those crochet patterns, I spoke about this granny stitch hat which I absolutely loved, so I wanted to give that a go as well. I had a bunch of this yarn left over from different colorways that I also used for the hood. I think it's the brushed acrylic fluffy day yarn from Hobby. So I made this hat, which I can't lie was a bit of a fail. I used the same hook size as the pattern, but obviously my yarn must have been slightly different and I didn't do a gauge, which that's on me, you know. I knew what I was getting myself into not doing a swatch before. It just turned out very small. I will put it on for you. It's not very cute. I am very aware. So yeah, it's very small. The rim of the hat isn't even like a bucket hat because it's so tight on my head. And I also don't love the colorway that I chose. It's kind of giving pumpkin, which I guess is, you know, relevant for the season, but it's not really my kind of style. And I also didn't realize that with the way that the pattern is written, the granny stitches will create these downward lines. And so I wanted to revisit the hat, make it bigger, and also create a different colorway to really play into these lines that it creates. So I made this hat. As you can see, I still need to tie in the ends, but let's just ignore that. So yeah, I made this sort of what was meant to be a plaid type pattern, but it kind of turned out to be these little flowers, which I'm not mad about. I think it's really cute. It kind of gives like a 70s vibe. And what I did to make it bigger is I didn't want to increase my hook size because I like the tighter granny stitches, just because that tightness will obviously keep you warmer. Instead, what I did was the original pattern called for 8 double crochets in the first like inner ring, and I did 10 instead to make it a bit wider. In hindsight, this still isn't wide or big enough for me, so I think what I should have also done is create an extra row of increases. I believe in the original pattern there's 2 rows of increases happening, but I should have done a third so it will make it wider and then you start going down. It's all a learning curve, and I am keen to make another one of these because I think it's so cute. I also added a couple or maybe just 1 extra row around the rim to make that a bit wider, but let me try that on for you. It is so cute. It's very much giving granny hat, but I do think it's a look. I think you can see though, if it was a bit wider here and then went down, it would be more like a bucket hat where it's a bit of a looser fit. This definitely feels more snug around the head than what I would like it to, but the colorway is so cute. I love the little rim. I think the rim makes it look less like a summery bucket hat and more like a winter hat as well, which is really nice. I just really love working on this project and having fun with experimenting. I'm so happy we're getting into hat season because there's such quick projects to whip up. That just for me means that I have more fun experimenting and trying different things as well. So those were all the completed projects of September. We also have a bit of a fail slash whip. I don't yet really want to give up on it, but it is currently just this long bit of fabric with a hole for your head to go through. It was meant to be one of my mesh tops but in black, and I tried adding this like turtleneck on it. The yarn that I used just wasn't right at all. It isn't as soft or fluid as the original yarn, so that didn't really work out, and the turtleneck it's not big enough for your head to go through. That's all fine. I've never really made a turtleneck on my knitting machine before, so it's just a learning curve. I know what to do better next time. Did think maybe just as like a short sleeved turtleneck top, it would be really cute. Just now holding it onto my skin, the yarn is really scratchy, so I think I might give it a wash and block it first to see if the yarn will relax at all and be a bit softer. I should have totally done this before casting the project onto my knitting machine. I totally should have done a swatch that is blocked and steamed to see how the fabric looks, but I was being so impatient with this, which this is a great sign that by trying to save time, things will actually take a lot longer. And then the thing that took up most of my September month is in this box here. And I mentioned in a few of my other videos that I am currently working on a granny square jumper tutorial for you guys. However, in order to make that happen, I had to make 56 squares, and they are all in this box here. And you can see there are a lot of squares. I definitely think the redeeming quality about this project is that the squares are so colourful, so you get that satisfaction of changing out your colours, which I always talk about. Otherwise, I do not think I would be able to make that many squares. I think when I hit 30 squares, I genuinely thought I was going to give up on it. Obviously that was when I was about halfway through, and I just thought I can't make any more of this, I'm going insane. But I did, and it was very satisfying and rewarding when I did finish. The next step in October is to write up the pattern and the instructions for you guys, thinking about sizing and stuff like that, and also figuring out how to explain the joining method that I use for that jumper in the most simple and helpful way. Because when I made my jumper like a couple years ago, I kind of joined it in a very complicated and random and intuitive way, and obviously that wouldn't be very helpful for you guys. So yeah, I'm still working on it over the next week or so, and then hopefully I'll be able to share that video with you guys. I've had to delay that video for weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, I just had to keep pushing it down my schedule because it was so much more time consuming than I had remembered. Let me share some of my favorite squares with you actually. I was definitely obsessed with blue. There's a lot of blue in these, but my absolute favorite colorway that I had to stop myself from reusing over and over again is this white, blue and red tone. I just think these three colors work together so well, and it's definitely made me realize that I need to make a project just those three colors. I was so tempted to also make a granny square jumper with just those three colors for my tutorial video, but I had to stop myself because it would have meant that that tutorial wouldn't come out until like January time, and that does not go. Definitely in the future I will be using those three colors for a project. I'm just obsessed with it. Then another couple of squares that I really liked is this one. I love the neon center and then all these like muted colors around it, and also this one was quite fun. It's a bit darker, but the colors are so vivid and bright. And yeah, these are all the things that I made in October. I'm so sorry I couldn't show you more of them. I feel like I need to stop giving stuff away and making more for myself, but I find a lot more joy in making things for other people, 100%. I just really struggle wearing and using my own makes. I'm definitely the kind of person that just like gets more joy out of making it and then giving it away for other people to enjoy. I hope my voice wasn't too irritating in this video. I'm hoping I'll be back on track for the next videos. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye.